Good morning and welcome to SJU. Today we're going to talk about Mutt Williams leaving Indiana Jones.
What?
Oh, no.
Valerian costing jobs. And you
Not
can
my
have a piece of Hollywood history, you guys. Andy Signor, Spencer Gilbert, Dan Merle,
Hi.
I'm Roth Cornett. Happy after the weekend.
Woo!
Work day. But we're here to entertain you a little bit. So you guys heard about the
Only
Shia
a little bit.
Not
Heard her.
much.
Just a little
We're
bit.
gonna warm up.
Only a little bit.
I have a barometer I'm trying to hit.
Infotainment. Commence. Oh, wait. What?
You said commence.
Oh, I was
Say something funny. You're
That was
the
for you. It
comedian.
was like Picard. Like
Oh.
infotainment. Commence.
Engage.
Shia LaBeouf
Make it so.
is out. Oh, make it so number one. Is out of Indiana Jones,
Make this
you guys.
so okay
Yeah.
with
You
this.
know those little pins.
This
he
is in
has
an
and the
interview
little
with
hat.
EW. Aw. So
pins.
screenwriter David Kep
Disneyland?
Screenwriter David Kep has confirmed that he's out. Harrison Ford, he says, will play Indiana Jones. Duh. That I can certainly say. And Shia LaBeouf's character is not in the film. He says that they're moving along, that when they start is largely dependent on Mr. Spielberg and Mr. Ford's schedules, respectively. But here's a spoiler alert. They are searching for an artifact.
Oh no!
What?
I know. Well, a couple of questions. One, I think I got a sense of how you feel about this.
Well, this is a long-standing Indiana Jones tradition of him abandoning children who
Sure.
depend on him. Short round,
Yep.
all right, gone, never to be seen again. He's abandoned now his son. So this is not for Indiana Jones. This is not unprecedented behavior. I mean, was there ever a reality where they were actually going to bring Shia LaBeouf back for this movie?
No, and partially because they were stank with each other because Shia LaBeouf came out and said that they sort of blew it on Crystal Skull, which, I mean, I'm sorry, but that's a fair
Right.
thing for
That's
them
why
to
I'm
say.
shocked they're bringing it back at all.
Yeah.
Why are they making more Indiana Jones movies after
Money.
Crystal Skull? I know money, but like Spielberg doesn't need to do that. Does he just
but I
not
think he
want to
wants
go
to do
out
it
on a
right.
bad note?
I think he wants to do it right.
Yeah.
Because here's asking, can we go back in time to before we saw Crystal Skull? Like, I feel like I was like not as scared that Shia LaBeouf was in it. Like, I feel like, okay, he's getting old. He should have a kid anyway. Like, let's see where this goes. Like, it could have been okay, right?
Yeah.
This idea of, so I think they just realized the movie itself was such a garbage heap that I'm glad they're at least noting, like retconning it in a way like, all right, let's start over and go back to where we were.
Okay, to be fair, though, it's not Shia's fault that the movie wasn't good.
Totally, no.
You know, it really isn't. It has
Those
nothing
CGI
to do
monkeys
with
were not
him.
created by him.
Yeah. So in a way, I feel like he kind of gets a bad rap for things that are not his fault.
But
His
at the same time,
character
it's
was
like
bad.
it's not
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf's fault that Transformers was so
Exactly.
bad. So like, but then at some point, like he's like the angel of death for these movies. Like, oh,
He's tough,
Shia's
though.
here.
He
it's
was
gonna
good
suck.
in Fury. Like, he's done some dramatic parts. But I feel like
Exactly.
who says no to, hey, you want to play Harrison Ford's kid
Right.
and Spielberg's next Indiana Jones? Like, of course Shia took
Why
that
is
gig.
David Kep still writing these movies?
That's a good question.
Why is David Kep still writing any movies?
You know,
Him and Akiva Goldsman need to go to like movie screenwriter jail.
Billy said exactly that this morning.
How many, pardon my French, shitty movies has this guy written, or both of them between the two? It's like new blood. Bring in some new blood. Bring in the, come on.
They're safe,
though. They know how to
Because the studio knows
Yeah.
any note they give him, he'll go okay and do it.
But here's my point with that: is
They know
like,
how to play the game, right?
I know people are celebrating, oh, Shia's not in it. That means it's going to be good. No, because it's still got the same creatives attached to it. So why do we know that
But
this
no
is...
Lucas, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I would say this. I have a theory for why they're doing it.
Oh.
I have a theory. I have a theory that when Harrison Ford signed on to do Force Awakens, part of sweetening that pot for him was he was promised to do an Indiana Jones movie because he's never let go of that character. He loves that character.
Does he though?
He
Because
really
I remember
does.
for years before Indiana Jones 4, people would always ask him like, "Oh, what's your celebrity pet peeve?" And he'd always be like, "People asking me about Indiana Jones 4." And he always seemed very put off by having to
That sounds like any answer he gives.
answer
Yeah,
questions.
I think he's put off by everything.
But I mean, he's doing. he's,
mustard on my sandwich again.
I hate to say this, he's doing like the farewell tour. He's
Yeah.
doing Blade Runner.
Yeah.
He's doing Indiana Jones. He's doing Star Wars. It's like.
Are you predicting?
Waiting for Regarding Henry, too.
Yeah, what's
Fugitive
the
Witness
one?
again?
Yeah, witnessed again.
More witness.
Re-witness,
Still
the
regarding
Mosquito
Henry.
Coast, Mosquito
Coast.
the Mosquito Village. He's just gonna
Still
go back to
presumed innocent again.
Air Force Two.
even clearer and more
Now I'd
present.
say no to that one.
He's retired. Him and Bill
He's the
Pullman.
pilot.
Him and Bill Pullman of Independence
Oh,
Day
God.
and Air Force 2. I would watch
No,
that
he's
movie.
there for the inauguration of the new new president.
Yeah, on a plane. All right, everyone on the plane. We gotta go
All
to
the
the
ex-presidents.
second location.
Is there any world in which this movie is going to be good? Better
Yeah,
than
sure.
Mosquito Coastist?
Yeah, Spielberg can pull something out, but he did have a great creative team. At least with the first one, it was like him, Lucas, and Kasdan. Or no, who was the other?
I think David Koepp
writer?
wrote
Was it David
Crystal
Koepp?
Skull. I think he did.
No, not Crystal
You're
Skull. I'm
talking
talking like
about-
Sorry.
Raiders.
Oh.
Like, early on.
Yeah. let's look it up.
Yeah, I think Kasdan, Lucas, Spielberg.
We're just losing people left and right till it's just Spielberg not wanting to or wanting to preserve his like filmmaker record and preserve his baby at this point.
Well, hey,
So
at least JJ's not just directing it and taking over everything.
True.
he'd probably make a fun one.
Yeah.
He'd probably be fine. It'd be better than Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Doesn't Disney own Indiana Jones?
Yes.
They do. don't
They own
So-
Lucas now.
Right.
Lucasfilm is part of
Spielberg
this. Is part of
not-
Lucasfilm.
This isn't just a Spielberg thing now,
Yeah.
too. This is Disney doing their
Disney.
Disney thing.
Which is why
What
I
if
have
they
that.
fired
Spielberg and
Steven
Disney
Spielberg.
haven't done a lot together. BFG is like the first big one they did.
Whoops.
Yikes. What if Disney fires
yes
Steven
to
Spielberg
Lawrence
in the middle of
Kasdan.
production? They're
Spencer.
like,
Sorry.
we're going in a
That'd be
different
very
direction
funny.
with the
Steven,
director.
you know,
we love what Steven's done on the movie so far, but we think we can do better. Ron Howard will be taking over Indiana Jones 5. They would do it.
Yeah.
I don't think they would.
Yeah, I think he's the one guy. I don't think
they
Kennedy and Spielberg. I think together.
Yeah, I don't think they would. But I do wonder, I think also the final thought on this, besides Shia, I do think gets a bad rap. If you see any of his films outside of the franchise films, I think you'll agree that he's a really good actor. He's in a lot of not great movies.
He's
didn't
great
hate
at
him in-
acting like he didn't plagiarize that thing and pretend it was part of an art project. That was his best acting.
I didn't say the man might not need some therapy. Like, he needs some. Although,
we all do.
I feel like
the
he was
Disturbia,
trolling.
though, is also not his. That was a fun movie. Do you remember that one? Where
Yeah.
he's the rear view window for kids. I mean, he was fine.
Eagle Eye.
Holes.
Yeah, he's a
Did you
fine
say
actor.
rear view window?
Yes.
Rear view window for kids. What did I say? Oh, I said rear window. Still early from the way. Rear window for kids.
Rear window
I'm
for
thinking
kids.
of the Pearl Jam song.
I don't see a world in which this is the thing that I think will be awkward about it is that how is he not going to be passing the mantle to someone? It's just not going to be his kid, which to Dan's
Kill him off.
point, just kill Indy.
Kill Indy.
All right, let's
You
kill
don't need
Indy.
to recreate everything over and over again. The Mummy proved you can make a fun adventure movie. You don't need.
Yeah.
There's been before Indy, there were millions of them. Like you can make a cool sand and Egypt pyramids, stealing artifacts movie with a.
We're halfway there already.
Indiana Jones, no matter what it is.
Tennessee Dave.
Yeah, there you go.
Done. You can do all the states and guy names after that.
All right, no women. Okay, good.
Michigan Sally.
Michigan Sally.
Tennessee
now we're
Dave.
talking.
Michigan Sally. We're franchising here.
It's gonna do better than Valerian did, no matter what.
Yeah.
That's my
Segue.
prediction. That's my prediction right
Segue
now.
graphic.
Segue.
Variety is reporting that Valerian's
on a Segway right across screen.
Yes.
if it was an honest segue, it would just be like
And then a different one for like awkward segue.
Awkward
like she falls off the segue.
all of them would be awkward
Please
segues
make
where I
those.
fall off.
Billy, please make those.
Billy, can we have more graphics?
It's like no.
More custom graphics on the fly.
Anyway,
Bang.
sorry.
Billy, graphics.
He's
That's how it
literally-
works, right?
He left the room. That's what just happened. Variety's reporting that Valerian's less than stellar box office performance is costing Jaws. Now, I'm going to butcher this name because I am not French. Edouard de Vicine, the
Sure.
deputy CEO of Luc Besson's Europa Corp, has been let go. So here's why. Valerian so far has earned $202 million worldwide, which is well below the film's break-even point, which analysts, according to Variety, assess that needs to be over 400 million globally. So this is during Europa.
Can we pause there for a second?
Yeah.
That's insane that they thought they made a movie that they needed to break 400 million to break even. Like, what on earth were they smoking?
That was.
That's
oh yeah,
not
that's their break-even
unusual.
point.
Big investment in Luc
That's-
Besson.
that is insanity.
That's crazy.
I think what's insanity is that, and that's a great point. This is that they made that movie with that break-even
Right.
point.
I think it's insane that the SJU bump of having Luc Besson at this very table did not put it over 400 million. 'cause-
Look,
I mean, you can't say the money wasn't on the screen.
Right, fair.
Because my God, that movie. I mean,
beautiful.
Andy and I, we reviewed it and we recommended seeing it in a theater just because like that movie was insane. So it was like the world's most expensive art house experiment in the world. But yeah, that's still pretty cool.
I mean, that's insanity that you'd spend that much money, but then not get bigger movie stars in it. And there's other things you would sort of know. I would think David Koepp and all these people know, like what you got to put into the movie to at least try and break even on a medium level, summer blockbuster. And they did not. That's just shocking to me that they thought they were going to make that.
I mean, I have to agree with you. I mean, for me, the problem with the movie, I thought it was beautiful and a cool, like very cool world that I wanted to visit. But Cara Delevingne and
Dane DeHaan did not have the chemistry.
Did not have the chemistry. I didn't understand why you wouldn't, at that point, particularly a movie that's coming out of Europe that has an IP that people aren't familiar with. Why would you not get movie stars for that?
It's not like they're big in China or Europe. Like that's the other thing. They're big nowhere.
It wasn't a global play.
She's big on Twitter and Instagram. Oh, don't stop doing that, Hollywood.
And more importantly than that, even if they're not movie stars, they were miscast.
Yeah,
Dane
I totally
DeHaan
agree.
is not a big strapling action hero guy. He's not Han Solo.
There are 100 actors out there that could have crushed that better.
Yeah.
than
Can
you.
I just say, though, I do think the Valerian is taking an unfair amount of this burden. Because if you look at the other movies Europa Corp has put out, 9 Lives in the last year, 9 Lives. And then one that I just watched yesterday, I'm trying to catch up on movies, called The Circle with Tom Hanks and Emma Watson.
Boy.
Well, at least they got the star power in that
Which
one.
is one of the stupidest movies
I read the book
have
and it was
ever seen.
dumb even then.
Every character in that movie was a complete moron. Utter idiocy. Like, that movie made me angry. Like, just watching it, I'm like, no one would believe this. No one would do this. It's so obviously, like, I kept waiting for the twist part where it's like, but the company's evil. And it's like, no. It's just a bunch of morons working at a Google together. So
At a Google
together.
They're having a Google over there.
I feel like Valerian is the fall guy for Europa Corp just putting out some shitty movies.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
still,
just
this costs
really bad
When
movies.
Valerian costs $400 million, that's a pretty
This
big.
is the straw that broke the camel's back. I agree.
Right.
But like, it's not like they were putting out stellar content before.
I don't, they were already taking a loss, so they really needed Valerian to be a hit, and it wasn't. And so here's my question. Do you think that this is why we don't see more big swing, studios aren't taking risks on expensive films because you cannot guarantee the payback, and then CEOs lose their job?
Well, like what's weird to me is like Robert Rodriguez has done interesting, daring movies in his own house, like using his own. There's ways to do
You don't
these
need to
cheaply.
spend the money.
You don't need to spend the money, and I think Valerian would have benefited if they'd cut a good 45 minutes off that
Good-
movie, which
could've
would have
used a
saved
good
probably
45.
$100 million easy in effects budget, and that would have been a better film for it. And I think there was a little bit of Luc Besson, I think, is to blame a little bit of like he got too lost in his own. I need this, I need that, I need that, and it's like someone needs to rein that in when you're at this high a dollar amount to be like, whoa, dude, pick one of those 4. And
But I
pick
think
one.
if you look at Logan and if you look at Deadpool, they kind of had the better model. These aren't cheap movies, by any stretch of the imagination, but they're far less expensive.
But that's the sequel is when you can spend the more money because you're like, all right, we've earned it. People are interested in this. Let's throw a little bit more at and do more exciting things.
But if you're going to take a risk, all I'm saying is if you're going to take a risk, A, spend less money, and then B, Fox had money makers already. So I think they did the right thing there. And to spend $143 million on Valerian doesn't make a ton of sense, I don't think. But you need it. In order to get the film that we saw on screen, you need to spend money. So what do you do? Dance off Hollywood.
A movie's a risk until it is a hit. I mean, that's the whole thing is like Valerian, it's a risk. Every movie's a risk. I mean, Deadpool was a risk, but no one says it's a risk now because it made a lot of money. Wonder
we
Woman
still say it was a
a risk, and no one says it's a risk. So it's like, I feel like the only movies that people say are risks are the ones that fail, and they forget that the movies that succeed are risks. I mean, that's Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's
except that-
movies. And we sit here and, we talk about the formulaic movies like, the same Pirates movie. Why don't they do more? Why don't they do different movies? Why don't they take a risk? Well,
I think
this was a risk, and it wasn't a success, but at least it was an ambitious failure. It was a risk. It was something different, for God's sake.
No, and I think it's great to take risks, and we should have more films like that. This summer has yielded films that were far smaller budgets that gave us, we've talked about this before, Get Out. Not this summer, but this year.
But think about like Girls Trip and The Big Sick and Wonder Woman. Those are big hits that made money for studios. And then look at the Captain Underpantses and Baywatches and Pirates and Mummies, and they did not. So it's like, in one way, I think the audience is showing it with their money of like, guys, we don't want the same crap you just assume we want, which is what I think Hollywood does. And to credit to your group, they did take a chance with Valerian and went there. But I mean, to me, I agree with you. It's 100% the casting. Casting was terrible. It was overly long, overly complicated. And then they put it in a weird period of when they released it. They probably shouldn't have gone in the summer. They tried to go maybe fall. And
This and Planet of the Apes are just like the two movies that I don't get, because we just saw the worst August of the century, literally. And Planet of the Apes and Valerian were two movies that were just like stuffed into July. That was like, why? You had an entire month of August with like not little competition, no competition whatsoever. And it's shocking to me that they just kept stuffing these blockbusters week after week after week after week after. It's like,
yeah, because Guardians 1 was August,
Guardians
wasn't it?
1 was in August, and it had the entire, like, if you come out in August, you have the entire month. And it's like they jammed all the blockbusters, particularly into July, just stuffing them 2 a week sometimes. And it's like, you had an entire month to move and put out a movie here, and like nobody did. It's like, it's mind-boggling. It's like, did you want to fail?
Apes is more of the heartbreaker to me. I mean,
Apes,
Valerian, I enjoyed for the world building, like I said, but to me, there were things that didn't work about that film. Apes is really good.
Yeah.
And it's just that people didn't go to see
Got
it because I
buried.
think because of the tone, and it got buried, and they just wanted to go see a fun movie, I think, and it didn't feel like it was going to be that. It is a fun movie. A little dark.
I'll say my thoughts on Australia on that one.
Yeah, it's not a fun movie.
Not fun.
Not a fun movie.
I'm trying to get butts in seats.
It's a very impressive movie.
That was a fall movie.
Yeah.
Apes was a fall
Yeah, it
movie.
was.
It came out in the summer because it starred monkeys, apes, but it was a fall movie. That was not, because summer business is repeat business, a lot of it, and there's not a lot of repeat business for that movie. Not that it's bad, it's just not one that you go see twice or 3 times like a Guardians or what, it doesn't
Because
have
it
that
doesn't
repeat
take you
appeal.
away.
It doesn't.
Would you say the same argument about Dunkirk, though? Because that's not a repeat viewer.
But
Not at
Dunkirk
all.
had the spectacle. I
Yeah.
think people went to see Dunkirk more than once, some of them, because it was
theater
genuinely
experience.
a theatrical experience, whereas Apes, it's not that.
I mean, it's beautifully shot, but it's
Yeah.
not in the sense that Dunkirk is. Why do you think Valerian failed? Did you see it?
No, that's probably why.
Why didn't you see it?
Spencer, why didn't you see it?
I honestly don't remember why I didn't see it, because I wanted to, but I think it was like I had to see it in 3D. There was probably something else out that weekend that I would rather have seen, and
And you were at dinner.
I think it was around Comic-Con,
It
and
was, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
busy that weekend, and then more things came out and I forgot about it. If it had come out last weekend or this month, like, I feel like I'd be way more likely to go.
More to Dan's point, yeah. So possibly,
If they had made like an August run that's like, you won't even believe what a WTF sort of campaign about it, and like, this is bonkers, like, and really hyped up the craziness of that movie, I think it would have done so much better.
I also think that real sci-fi is not necessarily appealing when it's original. I mean, yes, we have Star Wars, we have things that are the exception to that rule, but generally speaking, like, real science fiction just doesn't seem to perform as well with mass audiences.
Well, it was out there.
Yeah.
It was way
out there.
It was like, not like Star Wars it's science fiction, but it's
incredibly
fantasy. It's a
relatable.
little more grounded, believe it or not. Yeah, Valerian was just like, so it was at another cosmos. It was in another galaxy. It's not a massive. It was a strange bet to make.
You know what's another strange bet to make? This one is going to be a terrible segue.
Tripping on it. Just tripping. Get
Falling
ready.
apart right now. Auctions on Hollywood props. There's all kinds of Hollywood props. Have you guys ever fantasized about having movie props?
Yeah, I
That
mean, we're
thing you
lucky
wanna
enough
do?
to have some around the
Yeah.
office.
Okay, so there's a prop store in London currently, which is having a massive prop auction at the end of the month. They have been sourced from a variety of different places, private collectors, things like that. Let's take a look at them now. We'll find out what people are currently. You can go online currently to bid on some of these props.
Oh, Spencer, if you not look at
Okay.
the money, you can guess the cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't look at the money, Spencer. Okay. Ready?
Bring it.
Bring it on.
Ooh,
How much do you think
wow.
this is going for? Dan, yeah, don't cheat.
That's
Don't
Oh,
look.
sorry,
awesome.
it's on my
The
paper.
actual
Yeah,
one?
I saw it already.
What do you think this is worth, Spencer?
Opening bid, right?
Starting bid.
Starting bid, $10,000.
Close. Almost 13.
13. Okay.
All right.
All
What
right.
would you pay for it?
$100.
I mean, yeah.
What would I pay or
But
what
the
could I
actual
pay?
one?
Well, you can get a fake
That's a
one.
cool prop, because you can get a fake one, but to have it, like, is there a certificate like Sam Jackson signed or something like that, and put that up?
How much?
$5,000.
Yeah.
$5,000. Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's the one. I would want that one too. That's one
Yeah,
of the
it's
a good
props
one.
that I would actually want. What do we got next? What
Yeah,
is
what
this?
time
that?
is it? What this is?
I think this is the Jessica Chastain spacesuit from The Martian.
Oh, the Chastain
Oh, the
suit.
Chastain
Oh.
game-worn spacesuit?
Yeah.
Nice.
How much is that worth?
If you give me the Sebastian Stan suit, then maybe. But,
He's in that too. That's right.
wasn't he?
Guesses on the starting bid for this?
Dude, I don't know.
What's your guess?
Does
Your
it
guess
work?
is no?
Starting bid.
Does it?
8,000.
Can I go into space with it?
Yes.
Then all right, all right, $8,000.
Yeah, you're both right.
Even if it
7,775.
worked in space, it's not like it would get you to space.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd have some value to me other than like it was born in the Martian. I don't care.
What if the atmosphere
asteroid
disappeared
hits?
all of a sudden, Ross?
Need to put it in.
What if it was a geostorm situation? Exactly. What then?
Sure, the oxygen tanks still work too. Do we have the next one? Oh, okay, that's cool.
What's
Is that
that?
from Lord of the Rings? What is
Witch
that?
King's Crown from Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
What's the starting
Witch
bid?
King. Okay.
That's a nerd item, so that's like a 30% markup right there.
For nerddom.
Yeah, $20,000.
I'm gonna say 13 grand.
Wow, Dan just really got it right.
Price
Right
is
on
right,
money.
Dan.
13 grand.
Is it? Okay.
12,957
Oh, okay.
rounded
Alright.
up, but
It'll go for 20.
all right, this one I might buy.
Oh,
Venkman.
suit
The actual
from
Venkman
Ghostbusters.
suit.
You think that's worth more or less than the Witch King's crown?
It
Less.
should
You know
be
the
worth
price
more.
line? You don't
That's
know-
got to be more. That I'll say 25.
I say people are bidding less for
I'm
that.
gonna
I'm not saying it's worth
What's your
less.
total?
I'm gonna say 6,000.
7.
3,886.
Let's pull our money together, guys.
Yeah, we could totally buy
Spencer.
$800 each. Like, let's get
Don't you
it.
want to see Spencer in that?
Yeah,
Wait, how is that? How is the Chastain spacesuit from?
because it works.
Working space, I guess.
That's criminal.
I know. We should get that for the set.
Yeah.
Is it fake or like what?
Yeah, there's got to be some
Maybe
catch
He
there.
might have had it, maybe he didn't wear that. It
Can
was like the
Define
extra
make
one.
an
I don't know.
investment? Is
Yeah,
that a thing we can?
I don't know. I'd rather give it to something more important.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, here we go. This one's cool.
Oh,
Joker
Jack
suit from
Nicholson?
Batman '89.
Oh, the suit. Okay.
I'm guessing this one's 20.
Well, I've been over on everything, so I'm gonna say 5.
5,001.
$12,955. Roth wins. Dun, 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 dun.
Price is Right in his
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I wouldn't want that one though.
What's the most expensive one so far?
So far has been the Joker suit.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
sorry.
Witch
Witch
King?
King's crown by $2.
$2.
So weird.
$2.
All right. One of these items coming up is more expensive than that. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. What's this one?
Ooh, that's
Marty
gotta be.
McFly's Nikes from Back to the Future 2. What's the starting bid?
Do they work?
I mean, they're not
mean,
real.
they're
Obviously,
sneakers.
more.
Light up.
They might. I thought they worked in the movie.
They're not in
They're
great
not real?
shape. They're not in great condition.
What about the hoverboard?
Yeah, they're a little scuffed.
They're scuffed.
Some scuffs.
But
But as worn by Marty McFly. What's your starting bid, Dan?
8,500.
Roth?
5,000.
Spencer?
5001.
$16,195. Ding ding.
Wow.
2015 was like 2 years ago. Why do people still want
Hey, and you can buy like the cool new ones
can
that
buy the
actually
new
would
ones
fit your
that look
size.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like we're learning a lot about you.
All right, what about
Yeah.
this? A xenomorph egg from Aliens.
that? Ooh.
That sounds fun.
Oh.
From Aliens?
From Aliens.
was-
What's the starting bid?
Ooh, still.
It's not
2000.
opened.
13,500.
8,000.
12,900.
What?
Sorry,
Wow.
$1,295.
Really? We can have an alien egg for like $1,300?
$1,295. Here we go. This is the Fortress
What
of
a deal.
Solitude crystal from Superman the movie.
That's another one of the ones that I would actually want.
What's that starting bid?
I feel like I've been so off.
4,500.
2000.
It's a nerd thing. 7,000.
$1,296.
Come on, we could get that.
All right, we have two more. Finishing this
We have
game
a new
out.
set by the end of this.
Star-Lord's helmet from Guardians of the Galaxy. What's the
cool.
starting bid?
That's new. That's fresh. That's a showpiece item. I'm gonna say $9,700.
You're both-
9,700. Okay,
you're both
9,700.
guessing.
Yes.
$5,000.
Roth?
I like that Dan sold it and guessed at the same time. It's new, it's fresh.
You're
you
gonna
love
love
it,
this,
it's
yeah.
beautiful
Display
in your
piece.
house.
It's a new
Display
future
piece in
class.
your house. Put it right up on the wall.
What's going once?
7,500.
$19,437
Recency bias.
starting bid.
Man.
That's crazy.
They're
Is that the
into
most
the new
expensive?
thing.
That was the most expensive. Here we go. We have one last item though. What is this? This is the whip from Indiana Jones. How fitting we end here.
That should be
I
more
know.
than Star-Lord.
Yeah.
How much do you think that's worth?
I want the whip.
$21,400.
Roth.
But Star-Lord was the most expensive at 19.
Yeah, but this is like film history.
But he just said it was the most expensive.
Oh, Star-Lord is the most expensive?
yeah.
Of the ones I've read.
Of the ones
Oh,
he's
the
read.
ones you've read.
I didn't say whether this is or not. It might be less. It might be more.
All right, $25,000.
4,000.
$32,395.
I mean, Indiana Jones's whip.
I'd say it should cost
Which
that,
movie,
but
though?
we've been so off.
Say,
Oh, right. Yeah,
Whip
that's
from
a
Indiana
Crystal
Jones.
Skull whip. I'd be pissed.
Which of these would you guys actually want?
Of all those?
The whip and the Ghostbuster suit. I'd just
The
be
suit
like,
and the whip?
Ghostbuster suit's pretty.
Yeah,
No,
the
the wallet's
80s
cool, but I would
time
not. The wallet is cool, but I would not pay $13,000 for a wallet.
The Ghostbuster suit's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I feel like I would want the wallet, but not for that amount of money, just because
Yeah, it's
that's
a
not
lot
a
of money.
reality in my life.
Yeah.
But if I was like stupidly rich, I'd get that wallet.
even if you were stupidly rich, you still wouldn't be a little bit more thrifty and be like, "That's a lot for a
I
wallet."
love that wallet. Do you know how often I
Yeah.
use that phrase?
bad mother. Yeah.
But how is a wallet held by Sam Jackson worth more than a jumpsuit worn by Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Like, what is the Hollywood?
I don't know.
What's the exchange rate?
How does the math work?
$10,000 more, apparently.
Right? He must
well,
not
these are
have
the
worn
starting
it.
bids.
He
We'll see
must
what they
not have
actually go
worn it or
for.
something.
We should actually find out what they go for and have a follow-up.
Follow
Cam.
up with
Yeah.
it. What would you guys spend to own any of these things? Would you own any of these things? If so, what would you use them for? I feel like it's pretty clear. Like, you worship the crystal, you use the whip on your enemies or your lovers.
Take a jog on the sneakers.
Take a dump
Take a
in
jog.
Jessica Chastain's spacesuit.
And no, that's how you survive the coming geostorm. Thank you for joining us today. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we will be back tomorrow with more.
And stay tuned for our
nonsense.
Kong Honest Commentary right after
Commentary.
this.
Yeah.
11:45 on news.
If you guys haven't seen the honest trailer yet for Kong, you must
Special guest.
immediately right now go see
Special
it.
guest.
Come watch us live at 11:45. See you soon.